right. The pub is open. Yay. Episode 95. That's crazy. This July is 2 years since we've been doing this.
Really?
Yep. I know it's confusing because there's 95 episodes, but I forget that we're doing it once a week. Because I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. There should be like 700, but that's only if you did it every day. Yeah. That would be imperial math.
That's your math again.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, my ear itched. So many things. Well, the 4th of July is over. Did you have fun? Termites, do you still have your hands? Anybody blow off their hands? My neighbors, Def and Jebby, or Jebby as I like to call them, had a wonderful, what he buys, because, well, whether I'm in Missouri or Tennessee, it doesn't matter. You can buy as many fireworks as you want. Nobody gives a shit. There's supposed to be rules, but, well, not in the Ozarks. There's no rules. In Nashville, technically, Davidson County, there's rules, but no. The sirens start at about 4. That's when you start hearing the ambulances and people just shooting shit off. But I call it good, clean American fun. Now, I know people with dogs don't like it. That's a whole different issue because then they get super freaked out. Yep. But I don't think you're going to stop. Not when there's fireworks places that sell. Like, I went and got stuff for the kids. It's quiet.
Which you did.
Tanks and stuff. The fun stuff. The chicken that lays an egg. Yeah. And even as an adult, I can't believe it did it. I'm still amused and amazed, but
we put that on
Instagram. Was it on Instagram? Mm-hmm. The chicken that laid the egg. The kids laugh their asses off. They can't believe it. Snakes, stuff like that. What am I drinking before I go? Oh, look.
How was your Canada Day?
Well, Canada Day was great, and I posted a clip of my favorite Canadian comedian, Mike Wilmot, and he does a big thing about coming home drunk, about how guys come home drunk, and it's so funny. You should go watch that clip of Mike. And I always thought Mike should be more famous down here, but it's complicated because he works in England a lot because of the, what's that thing you guys have where you can work in, Canadians can work in Australia and England. Wow. Motherland. The Commonwealth. Somehow you're still beholden to the Queen, and that's too bad for you. That's Nazis. The motherland, mothership. So he doesn't work down here as much as he would if he, but he's Canadian. So, but anyway, his clip is up there, and then I put Jan Arden, my friend Jan Arden, my friend Terry Clark, my Canadian, and then I didn't put Paddles, and people were like, "Why?" Because Paddle does not like any kind of shout outs. Paddles likes anonymity. So that's the way we're going to keep it. Yep. Now, I forgot to read this. This is, I think this came in Atlantic City. It's so weird to be home and not have to leave. I'm not really aware that I'm actually here. And then I'm going through shit like from weeks ago on the road in piles in my room and just clothes where I'm like, where did I buy that T-shirt?
In your room.
You have a house. It's in my room in my house. This letter, I got stuck in my notebook, but I think she came in Atlantic City, Carol Ann, and she wrote a very nice letter. Her husband died, and she had to take care of him, and it was very difficult. And this was her first night out since her husband's death, but she likes the Pubcast. So, Carol Ann, I did get your letter, and this is how she survived a thankless job. Everybody should remember this. Go forward every day without hope, without witness, with reward, and just keep going. Yeah, it's a very good quote. Uh-huh. So that came backstage, and then I think we're done with all the termite stuff, except I haven't been to the post office because I haven't had time. Well, I have had time, but I've been sleeping. I am going to get yelled at. Yeah, there's something. What are we drinking? It's a giant bottle of Old Bay Bloody Mary mix, which it's not easy to find. It was on the website, and gluten-free. My sister could drink the whole goddamn bottle in one sitting. It's just, there's no alcohol in that. You have to provide your own alcohol, which I don't even know what kind of Tito's. Because my friend Mark is coming over later, and he's a Tito's monster. He's a total, because I look at I buy vodka, and then I'm like, I don't even drink it, except a shot and a Bloody Mary on a Sunday. Like, where the fuck did all this vodka go? But he's 6 foot something, and yeah, he's a big dog. He can really. So we have a little Bloody Mary with the Old Bay, a little beer back, a beer from where? Rocheport, Missouri, which is near Columbia, Missouri. I loved the can. Look, it's a gold sparkly can. Broadway Brewery, Success for Breakfast. What a great name for a beer. Hazy IPA. Delicious. Well done. Missouri. We have a lot of Missouri treats, too. This is from Gus's Pretzels. Now, my dad used to say, don't take offense if you're Dutch. In St. Louis, my dad would always say, the guys people that lived down by the brewery were the, quote, South Side Dutch. We were the North Side Irish, and they were the South Side Dutch. And he would have he had stereotypes about races nobody even thinks about anymore. I'm like, the Dutch? Who's saying stuff about them? Well, he has a lot to say. But I'm trying to get this open because Gus's Pretzels, which is down by the brewery, so I imagine it probably started by Germans, the pretzel deal. They made themselves a Monterey Jack con queso dip that I got when I was grocery shopping with my mom at the lake. 1820 Arsenal, St. Louis, Missouri. Arsenal, I believe, is also the home of the state cuckoo bird institution for a while. I do. My family knows where the cuckoo house is, where the nut house is. It's really good. Yeah. I'm usually not a con queso person.
Cheese in a jar.
But but it's really good. Well done, Gus's Pretzels. If you're in St. Louis or at a grocery store in St. Louis, pick that up. Wow. No, I never order it at a Mexican restaurant. People get the con queso dip, and I'm like, I'm not going to be hungry if I eat all that. That was Thunder Paddles. I know, you just look like a cat that heard something in a bush. I posted a picture of one of the night guards, a video. I'm learning how to do reels. Yeah.
How do you like it?
It's fine. But I Googled how you make money on reels. Like, I qualify to make money. But to make like $1,200, you have to have 1 million views. I mean, how much time do the children have to sit around and do this shit? Like, yeah, I'm not working that. I just did it for fun. But I don't know. Do more people, termites, you tell me, do more people watch reels than Instagram? Most of the stuff I do this for free. Like, there's no money. YouTube pays you change. Little nickels fly in. It pays from beer. Yeah, but I don't know about reels. Anybody have opinions? Where are my children? Where are the children? I don't really understand what the difference is. Or what's the difference between that and TikTok?
Oh, come on.
What? It's just a video.
Yeah, but TikTok's crazy.
Well, yeah. I have my TikTok joke. I got the first cut of my special and I watched it.
Yeah.
By the way.
You like it?
I do like it. Yeah. There's a few things. I fucked up one joke, but it's fixable. I just stumbled over words. A word, but then it didn't make sense. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. I got to have them fix a few things, and then I don't know, you got to do graphic stuff. I don't like this part of it. I don't even like watching it. In my mind, once I'm done, I'm done. Put it out there, be like the jokes or not. Lewis loved it. I showed it to Lou. The curtain is beautiful. And I'm old school. If you watch my specials, there's going to be nothing fancy. There's not going to be crowd shots. I hate it when they do that. Like, if I'm at a show and I'm watching somebody on stage, which I will be watching Rod Stewart on Tuesday. Yeah. Only because my friend Dax is the drummer for Chief Trick, and they're opening, and really,
You're going to see Dax.
I would not go down there just for Rod. I'm over it. I saw him in St. Louis when I was in high school, and the most thing I remember about the concert is he kicked free soccer balls out at the end, and I thought that was the most fantastic thing I'd ever seen as a 17-year-old in my life. I'm like, wow, we get to keep them? I mean, I didn't catch one, but for the people that did, he kicked out like 20, and I'm like, that can't be cheap. The soccer ball's got to be $50. Like, wow, look at this guy kicking money all over this arena like he's Nelly.
That's great.
No, it's summer, and I finally have time off, and I'm just going to go do stupid stuff.
Great.
Yeah, and I haven't seen Rod Stewart since I was 17. And on Instagram, he seems 100% perfectly fine. Fun, fine, still out doing his thing. So, but mainly I'm going to see my friend Dax, and then I will stay for Rod. But I saw Dax when he came to Nashville with Hart and Joan Jett, and like they have their own meet and greets out by the buses. And Dax was like, do you want to meet? I'm like, no. I don't want to meet. I have nothing to say to those people. I'm nothing that they haven't heard. I love rock and roll. I'm not. I don't. If there's a friend of yours that yes, but if it's a work deal, no, I don't need to. I'm too old to
I'm
give a shit.
9.
Right. But people get excited. But I don't want to meet. I mean, Sean Cassidy's one thing because as a teen idol. But current idols, I don't want to meet Stevie. I don't really want to meet Dolly. I don't want to meet these people. You just leave them up there.
Yeah.
Leave them on the shelf. Leave them on the shelf because you take them off the shelf, you don't know what could happen. Anyway, so I'm excited. I'll give you a full review of Rod Stewart.
Great.
And see if he kicks out soccer balls. And it's going to be outside, so it's going to be hot, 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 hot.
No,
It's
it's inside.
outside. Is it?
To the Bridgestone.
Oh, it's inside?
Yeah.
Damn. I wanted him to be outside. I don't want to see him sweating their ass off at the amphitheater. Oh, man.
You're really.
Well, I didn't have to buy the tickets. My friend Dorf got them for me. I don't usually call in a favor, but it's sold out. And then I would have to go on StubHub and pay like some ridiculous ass amount to hear Rod Stewart sing Maggie May. No, I just want to see my friend Dak. Can I just pay for Cheap Trick and leave and then give up my seat? They should do that. They should have a way where if you just want to see the first act and then you switch out like the Masters when you leave the practice round, you can switch your badge and give it to somebody else and go, here, you love Rod Stewart?
Yeah.
I mean, I like him, but not enough for StubHub money. There's a difference.
Wow. Didn't know it was inside.
There's, I thought it was at the Ascend Amphitheater.
No.
I can never say that word right either. That's a Midwest problem. We all say amphitheater, and people that speak proper English, their heads want to explode. I've tried to reform that into amphitheater.
You are off.
And I keep asking other Americans, what is our math? And nobody knows. Just for the record, it wasn't just me. Now, I'd have been fine if it was just me, because I know I didn't pay attention. But what else are we trying? Tabasco barbecue sauce. Jalapeno mesquite barbecue sauce.
Delicious.
I don't know about this idea. We'll see. I'm pretty particular. St. Louis barbecue sauce. If you don't maul it, you didn't make it, as far as I'm concerned. Yep.
Molly? What's happening?
There's a barbecue sauce from St. Louis called Malls. My friend Drew can back me up on this. And it's called Maulin' It. Did you maul it? It became commercials and stuff. Like, you maul your pork steaks. Another thing that's very St. Louis that people aren't doing anywhere else in the world. And then I have to go to other cities and go, can I have a pork steak? And they bring back this thick thing. I'm like, no, that's not what I meant. You're supposed to pound them into submission. Thin. Too sweet. Yeah. It's good, but it's sweet. It's very sweet. I'm a North Carolina barbecue person at the end of the day. If I'm going St. Louis, I'm going Malls. It's not as sweet. It's more like briskety. That's fine if you like sweet. It's hot and sweet. Here's the label. Green, Tabasco. It's good. It's just sweet. Yeah. I'd say skip it. Kettle Brand came out with a new... Moving on. Farmstand Ranch. Potato chip. I'm growing tired of trying all these potato chips, though. They're all starting to taste like the same shit. Yeah. We're going to have to move on out of that category.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you've tasted 95.
No. Here's a problem with foods like this. When they try to make something taste like something it's absolutely not, it's one thing to add salt to a potato chip and vinegar to a potato chip. But ranch dressing is not a potato chip.
Okay.
And then when they do this, it just tastes like chemicals,
Ranch chemicals.
which I'm not against. I've been fed chemicals my whole life.
Yeah. You have a chemical palate.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. If it doesn't have corn syrup in it, I probably haven't had it. They're all right. Nothing to write home about. So I'm just going with Guts' pretzel con queso dip. Love it. But see, it's white and not orange.
Yes.
Is all con queso white?
Depends on how old you are.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
all right.
Queso's
I thought it was, well, what's the orange shit people order in the Mexican restaurants?
Velveeta.
No, there's no Velveeta in a Mexican restaurant. All right. Moving on. Termites. Queen news. Not much. Stevie's off the road. Tanya's out doing her things. Cher, nothing. Shaka, a few festivals. If you go to her website, she's popping up here and there. Here's some news. Do you want to live like Dolly?
Yes.
Do ya?
Yep.
Do you have $10,000 paddles?
No.
No. Well, then your dream just died. Yep. Ever wonder how the free-spirited yet glamorous Dolly Parton lived on the road? You might be one of the first to stay overnight on one of her actual on her actual one-of-a-kind tour bus, but it'll cost you. The tour bus, known as Suite 1986 at Dolly Dream and More Resort and Spa in Pigeon Forge. Now, see, I don't know about Dolly Dream More Resort and Spa in Pigeon. I'm going to have to look that up. I only know about Dollywood.
We should go.
We could go.
Yeah.
Guests must, well, I'm not paying for this. I'm not sleeping on a tour bus. I've done that enough of that in my life.
We could go to the resort.
To the resort, yeah. If it says family friendly, though, I don't want to go.
That means you have to meal your own liquor.
No, it just means there's going to be 20 million children in the pool at 8:30 in the morning.
Probably.
Yeah, and I'm off. I'm going to sleep a little later than that. Not that I don't love the children, but those are the real children. Guests must drop $10,000 for a 2-night stay in a colorful, cozy spaces full of Dolly's belongings and custom amenities. Now, I'd be afraid people would steal shit. From a sparkly guitar cabinet to one of her many wigs. Do you trust people?
There's probably a lot of cameras.
Cameras? Well, I don't want to stay in some place where there's cameras. I decided to retire it because I wasn't touring much anymore. Aw. And it was just sitting there, she told Knox News, part of USA Today Network. And I thought this could be put to really good use. Got the cash to be the first desk. Portions of the proceeds will be donated to the Dollywood Foundation and Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. If you've got money, and a lot of people do, they just want to experience that, Parton said. 45-foot bus includes a couch, kitchen, dining tables, 2 separate toilets, a tub, and a large bedroom. It's full of warm colors, cozy pillows, fresh flowers, and quite a few something. She tore out 3 of the 6 bunk beds to build a closet, which displays Dolly's attire, including sky-high Christian Louboutins, shiny gowns, and butterfly jewelry. The walls are adorned with custom murals depicting life on the road, and the bedroom features floor-to-ceiling pink and purple decor from the bedspread to the custom-painted ceiling. Guests of the 1986 suite will get a special culinary creation, dedicated concierge service, and exclusive Suite 1986 swag to take home. It sleeps 2 guests, and the reservation comes with an additional Dream More room that sleeps 4. It's located in a gated space just outside Dream More with easy access to its restaurant and amenities. It was created for Dolly to use during one of her visits to, this one didn't even go on the road. Well, I guess it did. Yeah, she traveled an estimated 360,000 miles in the 40-foot Prevost. My friend Pat makes buses. And he makes those. He makes the custom ones. He made Carrie Underpants' bus.
Really?
My friend Pat, yeah. He makes them to order, custom. What? Oh, I think he made one of Tay-Tay's. Tay-Tay's probably got 1 million. Yeah. And if you live down here, like at the grocery store by my house, you can see all the tour buses when they're taking off. I saw it, Lady Antebellum's. Lady A. All right, they dropped that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They dropped the bell.
I can't keep up. I saw them pulling out. She said the suite really reflects how she lived on the road. She wrote several songs on the bus, including Backwoods Barbie and the 9 to 5 the musical. Much of her time was spent doing ordinary things. She watched TV, reheated meals she cooked at home, kept her show clothes and show wigs on the bus. She stayed on the bus instead of a hotel and did not enjoy flying, but the bus had the feeling like home during her tours. I loved all my time on my bus. I was traveling with my friend Judy, my best friend from Sevierville. We'd been friends since we were in 3rd grade, and we traveled all those miles together, but we've had wonderful memories of people that come to the bus when we traveled around, dignitaries, stars, everybody. All the memories are special to me. She often traveled from her home in Nashville to places like Los Angeles or the Great Smoky Mountains. So there you go, people. Yeah. If you're going to spend the night on a tour bus, it'd be better if it's not moving. Because initially the movement of a bus is very comforting. It's like being in a crib in my little bunk, like on Lou's or Ron's. They always have the king bed in the back, the fancy thing. But, if you get a shitty driver or just bad traffic, those brakes slamming on, yeah, no. Everybody's awake. Now you've flown forward. I'm surprised more people don't get hurt. Now I sound like an old person. But no one's strapped in. So if you hit something, there's just bodies flying everywhere. And then the thing about, I would always forget to put my coffee on one of the magnetic things. There's a lot going on a tour bus. I like the idea of it on one hand, and then on the other hand, I don't know. Wait. We're going to updates. Yeah. Oh, we talked about this before. Jeff Bezos' super yacht, and the Dutch were going to take apart that bridge so it could get out of the harbor and be set free. This is the dumbest. First of all, now they're not going to do that. That's the update. They voted no. Now, I could say Jeff Bezos is dumb, but I'll tell you what I did one time, not judging size and how you're going to do it. So my first apartment in Hermosa Beach, California, which was $500 a month, it was a one-bedroom, kind of. It was really a studio. But there was a bed. There was a doorway to get in the bedroom. It was when you're 24 years old, 23 years old. It was fantastic in my mind. It's probably still fantastic, but it wasn't bigger. It was very tiny. It didn't have a good closet. Well, it didn't really have a closet. So I went to IKEA with my friend Jim, and I bought, what would you call an armoire, right? And I put it together. And Jim wasn't home. I didn't have my helper friend. So I did it myself. And I got so hot. There's no air conditioning at the beach in California, but sometimes it gets up to 88, 90, and your apartment's fucking hot. I literally was down to my sports bra and underwear by the time I completed this project. I was so hot. And after I completed it, I realized it was too big to get through the bedroom door. So now it's just in the only other room I have, the front room. And I thought, fuck it. And I put it in the corner and just decorated it. I never moved it in the bedroom. I act like it was a piece of furniture that was supposed to be there, but really my clothes were in there. So I can understand not thinking. But I don't think I'd be this dumb if I had a $500 million super yacht. I would look at the harbor and go, well, wait, that's not a drawbridge. How are we getting it out? Jeff Bezos' $500 million super yacht is stuck after the Dutch firm building it decided against dismantling a historic Rotterdam bridge following a public backlash and threats of an egg-throwing protest. Well, egg can really fuck up paint. Yeah. That's why cars is bad. The paint on your house is bad. I don't know what's in egg that does that, but paint doesn't. So it wouldn't probably react well if you... The billionaire founder had offered to pay for the middle section of the decommissioned Koning-Schevenbrug to be removed so that his monster 412-foot sailing yacht, which is named Y721... Who names their boat Y721? Nerds. Yeah. Bad nerds. Not good nerds. Could reach the ocean from its shipyard. The yacht, currently the second largest in the world, cannot get under the De Heft Bridge without modification taking place, but the plan has now been canceled by the manufacturer Ocean Co. after the criticism it faced, according to the Dutch news outlet such and such. Back in February, it was announced that they had asked the city to temporarily remove the bridge, which dates from 1878. It was last renovated in 2017. Marcel so-and-so, who managed the project, told RTV that it was not practical to partially finish the vessel and complete construction elsewhere. If you carry out a big job somewhere, you want all your tools in that place. Otherwise, you have to go back and forth constantly. In addition, this is such a large project, there's hardly any locations where the work is finished. From an economic perspective and maintaining employment, the municipality considered this a very important project. Rotterdam's also been declared the maritime capital of the world. Well, a lot of this should have been thought through. Thousands of Facebook users signing a petition to promise egg the yacht as it traveled through the city towards the open ocean, calling all Rotterdammers to take a box of rotten eggs with you and throw them en masse at a supermarket when it sails through the bridge, blah, blah, blah. They've informed city officials that it has quoted that it's canceling its current logistical plans. The news organization said the employees at the company feel threatened that the company fears it will be vandalized. It's unclear yet how the yacht will be moved from the construction site to open water. Wow. Well, you could drive it. Lift? Yeah, but it's got to go all the way to the ocean. That's a lot of flatbeds. That's a wide load. That's like a triple wide load. Like, you think a trailer coming down the highway is a big deal. Wait till you see.
A double wide.
Yeah. We will definitely have an update on what happens to Jeff's little toy that's now stuck in the back of a cove. What an idiot. They didn't promise that initially. They promised it after the dumb shits went, oh my God, this is way too big. Wow. You can't be the maritime capital of the world if you don't have a plan for that.
Measure things.
I mean, I'm glad. I don't like the guy. I'm glad it's stuck. But This is a great update on our Capitol rioters. This is classic. This is Rolling Stone. Here's the headline. Fake Hitler going to real jail. What? Yeah. Timothy Hale Cusinelli, who admires the Nazis so much that he's dressed up like them, claimed he didn't know Congress met in the Capitol.
What? Come on. Wow.
There's a picture of him. We're going to put it in the show notes. He has the Hitler mustache, and he's doing the thing, and he's got his hair like him. A January 6th writer who claimed he didn't know Congress conducted business in the U.S. Capitol despite being a self-described history buff was found guilty Friday on all 5 counts against him. One charge was a felony for obstructing an official proceeding. Timothy Hale Cusinelli admitted he entered the Capitol that day, as he had posted videos of himself in the building on social media. But, he argued in court, he was unaware that members of Congress were meeting then. I didn't know the Capitol building was the same as the Congressional building. Wait for this one. I know this sounds idiotic, but I'm from New Jersey. I mean, you cannot blame the whole state of New Jersey on this. No. Even if you were from Mississippi. Let's go to 49th and 50th in the education thing. You still can't blame your state for that.
Totally.
I know this sounds idiotic, but I'm from New Jersey. He told jurors on Thursday, I feel like an idiot. It sounds idiotic, and it is. He'd been in jail since February 2021, partly due to prosecutors presenting to Judge Trevor McFadden substantial evidence of his racist comments in the past. According to prosecutors, 34 of his colleagues who were interviewed by the Naval Criminal Investigation Service said he held extremist or radical views pertaining to Jewish people, minorities, and women. He was in the U.S. Army Reserves. Great. This is who's in our reserves. This guy on January 6th and was administratively discharged following his arrest. He once said Hitler should have finished the job, a Navy petty officer recalled. A Navy seaman told investigators that he said if he were a Nazi, he would kill all the Jews and eat them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and he wouldn't need to season them from salt because of... Oh, yeah, I'm not even going to read the rest. Yeah, just terrible shit. He also went to work after shaving his facial hair into a Hitler mustache. The jury was not exposed to the full extent of his racist comments or the images extracted from his phone, but they were shown a text in which he wrote the Democrats were going to steal the 2020 election through, and I won't say it, but something rigging, a slur. He's scheduled to be sentenced in September, so we will keep up. He's in jail. We're going to keep up with fake Hitler. Fitler. We got a month, 2 months. 3 months? 2 months. 2 months. I know this sounds idiotic, but I'm from New Jersey. What? No. I would have stopped him right there if I was the judge. Excuse me, my Loch Ness Monster is falling off. Update. America, every summer, here's what happens. On the 4th of July, people blow their hands off. That's a given. And every summer, Americans from all over every state travel to state parks and get attacked by animals that they weren't supposed to approach. Right. We cannot go over this enough. No. We cannot have meetings enough, family meetings, to go, this is, again, I just did this last week. New one. Woman is gored by bison at Yellowstone. First of all, I didn't know you could go back in Yellowstone just yet. They must have opened one entrance. Yeah. The second incident reported this week. They did it for 4th of July weekend. A woman visiting the park was gored by a bison. The second incident of animal injuring a park during a visitor this week. She was a Pennsylvania woman, 71 years old. She was gored by a bull bison on Wednesday, just one day after another visitor was injured by a bison at the park. The attack on the woman was the third reported incident. Third! It's only the beginning of July, guys. You know, one time I was at one of those. I don't know if it was Yosemite or Yellowstone. Probably Yosemite. And there was a bear eating a log, but he was peeling off bark, and he would get like one roly-poly at a time. It looked like so much work for this giant bear to eat a roly-poly. But then there was a German tourist group, and the German guy went to the other end of the log, a fallen tree. And it wasn't that big of a tree, maybe 20 feet long. So he gets within 20 feet of the bear, who's pulling off the bark, and then the bear looks up at him and goes... And he's taking pictures of it. And I was sitting there going, 10, 9, 8. And I kind of wanted to see the German guy get eaten. I got to say. Because you can't, they tell you exactly not to do this. And, you know, your picture for what? Right. Facebook? Like, is it worth death?
Right.
He got lucky. The bear was so into his roly-polies, he just let that guy go. But she got too close to the bison, and the animal responded to this perceived threat by goring the person. The woman and her daughter inadvertently approached the bison as they returned to their vehicle. All right, well, she probably didn't mean to, then it's different. Right. She sustained non-life-threatening injuries, was transported to a Wyoming hospital. Bison have injured more people in Yellowstone than any other animal. They're unpredictable, and they can run 3 times faster than humans. And you wouldn't think that because they look like fatties. Yeah. The Park Service pleaded with visitors to stay at least 25 yards away from the large animals. Another attack occurred earlier on Monday when a 34-year-old Colorado man was gored after walking with his family on a boardwalk near Giant Geyser at Old Faithful. When the family members did not leave their area, the bull bison continued to charge and gored the man, causing injury to his arm. He was taken to the hospital. People?
Don't ride the bison.
Well, and don't feed them. I wonder how many people are walking in there with treats. Like, yeah.
Here's a burger.
You can't manage all these people, though. What are you going to do? Update! Elon is cracking down on the children. Tesla is tracking office attendants and sending emails to employees who haven't badged in enough. He's keeping track. He's got you on a clicker. Yep. Like my mom's old grocery clicker, the red one with the white that's going, checking in. Tesla is monitoring employees' office attendance. On Tuesday, a Tesla employee posted a screenshot of Blind, an automated email from Tesla. The email notified the person that they hadn't used their badge to enter a Tesla facility in at least 16 days over the past month. The Tesla employee confirmed to Insider the authenticity of the email. At first, they did not respond. Tesla: this is an automated notification. You are receiving this email because they know that you're not going to work. And they were having difficulty. The information reported that Tesla employees were having difficulty finding desk space and parking spots at Tesla's Fremont factory amid Musk's bid for Tesla almost 100,000 person workforce to fully return to the office. Well, I mean, you can't blame them. No. If there's nowhere to park, and then if I do find a place to park, I get inside, there's no desk. Yeah. Fuck off. I mean, you want me to come to work? I have to have somewhere to sit, right, or stand or whatever, a Veridesk. The children love this. The publication reported that some managers told work to come in fewer than 5 days a week because of the lack of space, a direct conflict of Musk's mandate. Wow. Tesla's not the first one to start tracking people. J.P. Morgan began tracking people using dashboards and reports. Now, I know my brother from the corporate world. Like, sometimes I do corporate gigs where I'm the entertainer person. I'm always the nighttime act. I'm never the daytime act, thank God. Well, I have been the daytime act. It's terrible. Nobody's drinking. It's awful. But they know if my brother goes to the events, like at these big convention deals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you scan your code. And I said, well, couldn't you have somebody else take your badge that was going and double scan it? See, I'm already thinking of ways out of work. Right, yeah. Well, I'm not a worker like that. No, you're not. And I don't like to be told what to do. I know that. It's awful. And he said, no, because there's a person sitting there. Mm-hmm. You don't just scan it. He goes, it's not like a fucking elevator card, Kathleen. I go, oh, okay, I didn't know. How do they do this? J.P. Morgan's tracking people. I don't like it. Mm-hmm. Well, he's going to eliminate 10% of his salaried workers because concerns regarding the future of the U.S. economy. How about the factory not selling as many cars either? Right. Elon? They will, though. I don't know. Those self-driving ones keep getting in accidents. They get in more accidents than my mom.
All Teslas.
I wouldn't get in one, a driverless car.
Well, all Teslas
no.
Don't drive themselves.
No, but that's what he's going with the future on. Right. Update! South Dakota. Remember how we railed on that guy who killed that guy? Said he thought he hit a deer, but human eyeglasses flew through his windshield because he knows there's so many deer that are down at LensCrafters when I go. It's amazing. Well, they threw him out of office. Really? I didn't do that update because I read it and then I don't know. I forgot to say it. But now he's going after Kristi Noem, who I just saw on CNN, and I cannot tolerate that woman. Forget about politics. I can't tolerate anybody who they go on an interview show and they're so rude that they just keep talking. This happened to be on CNN. Dana Bash asked her a question, and she didn't answer the question, and then she just kept talking. They never take a breath. It's like they go to some school. There is a school in D.C. where you learn how to do this.
Really?
Yes. It's like a pundit school, but she's a governor. But, I mean, to be a pundit where they just keep talking, it doesn't matter what you say anymore. All you do is launch their speech, and that's what they teach them. Don't respond. But he's going after her. He's pissed. He got thrown out of office. Yeah. I'm not just going to let this drop. I think they should do it, and I do believe that ultimately the House will pursue it, said Jason Ravensburg, the ousted Attorney General. Former South Dakota, in his first comments since being removed from office, appeared before the State Ethics Board to press for an investigation of fellow Republican Governor Kristi Noem, the person he believes for his impeachment. So he's blaming her for his impeachment over his conduct surrounding a 2020 fatal car crash. Talk about being a victim.
Yeah.
You killed someone. Yeah. Maybe not intentionally, probably not intentionally, but you did. And but now he's attacking her. It's classic victim bullshit, of him being the victim. He filed a pair of complaints against Noem to the state's General Accountability Board that she abused her powers by interfering in a state agency as it evaluated her daughter's application for a real estate appraiser license and by misusing state airplanes. Okay, first of all, I'm not a Kristi fan, but if she used a little pull to get her kid a real estate license, I mean,
that kid must be.
it, there's a lot of good realtors out there, but there's a lot of people where it's just they hear it's a 6-week class and they're going, and that's going to be their job. Or my mom became one when she was done nursing because she just wanted to look in people's houses. Then she saw an episode of the ID channel where the realtor got murdered. So she never thought about the fact that she was in a home alone and it was advertised to be open and she's there. So any Tom, Dick, or Harry could just come in and rape and kill her. Right. You never thought about that.
No, of course not.
She quit. My mom was a realtor for 1 week. Yeah. 1 week. It was a great career. She sold nothing. It's too bad, too. She's so smart. My mom passed the test like in an hour. She's like, I don't know why this class is 6 weeks. I already know all the math. And she did. She passed like in a week. It was amazing. So, I'm sure she misused airplanes. All the governors do. And still what? She used her pull. I mean, you shouldn't do it, but I don't think that's going to be enough for Kristi to get in any trouble. No. And that's what this guy's focused on. Is I'm going to drag you down now, bitch. Because I happen to hit somebody and kill him,
Right.
You got your daughter a real estate bullshit license. Oh, my God. All right, this is really not a holy shit they found it,
Okay.
but it's kind of.
Okay.
This should be holy shit it appeared.
Oh.
Yeah. Most people don't know. So Lake Mead is going dry.
Uh-huh.
It's a real problem. I don't understand why it's on the news every night. Most people don't know that Nevada is home to an underwater ghost town. While it's true Nevada is full of Wild West ghost towns, most of them were from the glory days of gold mining and westward expansion. However, St. Thomas is a ghost town unlike any other. In fact, St. Thomas has been referred to as an underwater ghost town. According to the National Park Service, the water level at Lake Mead has caused it to appear and disappear over the years.
Oh.
See, Lake of the Ozarks was dredged,
Right.
so I don't feel like
There's ghosts.
there's ghosts down there, like when you just flood the town, like Lake Lanier. They flooded the black community, and then it's every time somebody drowns in Lake Lanier on Twitter, it's always so funny because all the black people are like, I live in New York, and I know not to go to Lake Lanier. And black folk are pissed off. And I'm like, it's haunted. Yes. I mean, I've gotten in Lake Lanier. I'll admit it. I've done it. But I think about it.
Really?
Fuck yeah.
Oh.
It's the only lake where I get in with a life jacket on.
Come on.
Well, I figure if a ghost is going to try to pull me down, they're going to have to pull triple hard if I have a life jacket. If I'm just out there on the noodle with my beer, just grab my foot and I'm gone.
Oh my God.
I don't like flooding towns. I think
ghost.
you should pay to move the people out, give them money, and say, if you're going to do it, like the Ozarks, we took the people in the towns and said, look, we're going to do it, and here's some money. Now, if you choose to stay, that's on you. But, so what is it about this ghost town that makes it so spooky? Discover how Lake Mead led to the disappearance of St. Thomas and its transformation into a ghost town. In 1865, Mormon settlers established St. Thomas, Nevada, as a thriving Mormon settlement. The Mormons, yeah. Which, we got to talk about what I'm watching, too. I can't forget that. After I do Holy Shit, They Found It. This made me think Under the Ban of Heaven, which was so good. I think it was on Hulu. As a thriving Mormon settlement, St. Thomas boasted farms, a school, a hotel, a grocery store, a post office, an ice cream shop, and a hotel. The town eventually had a population of about 500. The residents in St. Thomas were captivated by their simple lifestyle in spite of the lack of indoor plumbing and electricity. Sadly, they couldn't keep the magic of their simple lives going on for long. Change loomed on the horizon, which would be introduced by President Calvin Coolidge. Yeah, you don't really hear much about Calvin. The existence of St. Thomas shortly came to an end after President Calvin Coolidge decided to make a damning decision. Get it? Get it? Damning? In 1928, he authorized the construction of the Hoover Dam, originally called the Boulder Dam. I did not know that. I've done the tour.
Is it good?
It's good. It's better if you're my dad. No, I'd rather play video poker. I don't need to. Like, my dad's into that. Like, how did they construct it and what did they use? What materials? Like, if you're a builder person, like, he likes all that shit. I don't care. He ordered the construction of the Hoover Dam, and then St. Thomas ceased to exist. According to the website, the National Park Service, St. Thomas, the dam created Lake Mead, which flooded areas along the Muddy and Virginia rivers. During the early 30s, Lake Mead began to form, and St. Thomas gradually disappeared under the rising waters. Residents of St. Thomas fled their town because of rising water levels. In 1938, Hugh Lord, the town's last resident, paddled away from his home when it was flooded by the river. About 60 feet of water covered St. Thomas at its highest point. Lake Mead flooded many other settlements like Calville and nearby Anazia Indian sites. Oddly enough, the formation of the Lake Mead wasn't the first time the town had been flooded. Jesus, this is a bad luck town. Yeah. The ancient peoples from the basket maker and Pueblo cultures were also cultivating maize, beans, and other crops on the territory for more than 1,000 years. In the past, the native community here, known as the Pueblo Grande de Nevada, or Lost City, also was flooded. In the 30s, archaeologists discovered a number of artifacts that helped them understand the original native inhabitants. As the years went by, the water level of Lake Mead fluctuated. There have been several reemergences of the ghost town, including reemergences in 1945, 63, and 2012. It's currently experiencing such a severe drought that the St. Thomas ghost town has remained above water since 2012. Well, it would be cool to go look at. Yeah. But it's historically low at the moment. Wow. Let's see what you can, you can see the ruins. First thing you'll notice is a crackling earth. You'll see foundations of old buildings that once stood proudly. That includes the schoolhouse, St. Thomas Schoolhouse. You can also see federally protected artifacts as well. Wow. That's creepy. I don't know about that. I don't know about, you're just out with your beer and your boat and your noodle. You think everything's fine. And there's some pissed off ghost underneath you. A lot of people in Lake Mead jump in and just don't come back up for no reason. I mean, not Lake Mead. I mean, Lake Lanier. Yeah, I don't know if Lake Mead seems haunted. I don't know enough about it. Holy shit, they found it! Marine archaeologists find the lost head of Hercules after 2,000 years. Here's what's crazy. I didn't know we were missing his head. Well, apparently we were. In the spring of 1900, a group of sponge divers sailing through the Aegean en route to North Africa stopped at the Greek island of, here we go, Antikythera to wait for favorable winds. One board diver put on his diving dress and descended to a depth of 45 meters. However, the diver, whose name was Elasadiatis, quickly signaled that he wanted to be pulled up. He told his crew members about the horrors that he saw below. He told them of rotten corpses and horses, but his crew didn't believe him, thinking the diver was intoxicated from the nitrogen in his breathing mix. However, when their captain decided to investigate his claims, he found a shipwreck. Oh, yeah. How crazy if you went down there just for fun. You're bored. They're waiting on winds. He puts on his, in 1900, what kind of, I'd love to see a scuba outfit from 1900. Holy Christ. I think they look ridiculous now. Yeah. They continued on with their voyage, but they informed the authorities in Athens about the wreck. A year later, people went down and they found a headless statue of Hercules dating back as far as 340 BC. Recent exploration of the ancient shipwreck found in 1900 has again produced more treasure, including the missing head. They hadn't had the head since 1900. Yep. We found the head. It's twice life size. It has a big beard and a particular face. It's no doubt it's Hercules. Stunning news. The discovery came after a team. They went 50 meters down. They also found 2 teeth encrusted in marine deposits, which they hope a genetic and isotopic analysis will provide further fresh insight into the ship's crew.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there you go. I want to see it. You can see the statue, but they don't show you the head yet. Yeah.
I'm on it.
Get on it. Paddles. On it. This is crazy. This is not really holy shit they found it, but they kind of did.
Okay.
Kind of. Because I'm obsessed. We'll round up to discovered it.
Yep.
I'm obsessed with Pompeii.
I know.
In 779 CE, thousands of lives instantly changed when the eruption of Mount Vesuvius buried the town of Pompeii under 23 feet of ashes and debris. Over 2,000 people perished in the disaster, many inside their homes. Now, for the first time, researchers have been able to fully sequence the DNA of one victim. Thanks to their work, we have even more insight to the people who call Pompeii their home. A study published in Nature, whatever Nature is, details how the team looked to analyze the DNA of 2 people whose remains were found in the Casa del Fabbro, which was excavated in 1914. The bodies belonged to a man in his late 20s, a man in his late 30s or early 40s, and a 50-year-old woman. They were discovered lying in their dining room, or triclinium, I guess that's what they call the dining room, on the remains of a chaise lounge. Really? Wow, they had chaise lounges back then? The fact that they were most likely enjoying a leisurely meal when disaster struck is not unusual. So imagine just sitting in your house. You get your little thing out of the microwave, you go sit in your chaise lounge, and then and then you ignore that.
Right.
Because you're still sitting there. Mm-hmm. You didn't get up.
Football's on.
Yeah. In fact, the study's authors state that more than half of the individuals found in Pompeii died inside their houses, indicating a collective unawareness of the possibility of volcanic eruption, or that the risk was downplayed due to the relatively common land tremors in the region. That's how I behave regarding fire alarms in hotels. So I kind of understand it.
Totally.
Anytime one goes off, I'm like, whatever. I'm not doing it. And then I walk out in the hall, especially if it's in the middle of the night, and I look around and see if anybody else is leaving. And if like a lot of people are going, I'm like, all right, well, somebody knows something. But if nobody's going, I don't go. It's terrible, but they go off all the flipping time. You'll never get any sleep on the road if you listen to that. That's not good advice. Don't listen to me, especially if you're one of the children. But I'm just saying that's what I've done. So I can understand these people going, whatever.
Right.
They had this going on all the time. They will ever discover the sex, ages, and heights of the victim. The man was about 5'4", weenie man, while the woman was 5 feet. That's me. Although complete information could not be obtained from the woman's DNA due to gaps in sequences, they were able to sequence the man's entire genome. Prior to this, only short strands of mitochondrial DNA from human and animal had been sequenced from Pompeii. So what did they learn? Well, they learned that they were just sitting there, and they're mostly the individuals living in Sardinia. Yeah. So there you go.
Okay, great.
Well, it's just creepy to me that they were just sitting there.
Yeah.
That's where they find most of them. Shocked.
Yeah.
But first, the volcano had to erupt.
Thank you.
And they don't get that. Fire! Very large fire.
You just made an Asian.
I would have tried to run for the water, but I saw the movie Pompeii, and that really didn't help either, because the lava's just pouring in and setting the water on fire. So I don't know what you're supposed to do. What should I do during a volcano? I'll have to Google it. I don't know.
Nope.
America, what are we going to do with one another? Moving on to news. Subway restaurant.
Oh, no.
Yep. The worker is killed, shot to death, because the guy's pissed off he didn't get enough mayonnaise.
What?
Now, here's what doesn't make sense to me in this article.
Oh, my God.
CNN. An employee at Subway restaurant in Atlanta was shot and killed when a customer got upset about a condiment on his sandwich. Or maybe he didn't want mayo. Police were called to the restaurant near the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. The Mercedes-Benz Stadium is not downtown.
Yes, it is.
In Atlanta.
Yes, it is.
It's out in the burbs.
No.
The new one?
You're thinking of the Braves.
Oh, I'm thinking of the Braves Stadium. Oh, right.
Falcons.
Okay, I apologize, CNN. I am thinking of the. I'm thinking of the Braves' new one, because wherever I did my show was right by there, and that was not downtown. But this is the downtown one. Officers found 2 employees shot, and 1 woman was later pronounced dead at a hospital. And then you wonder why the children quit these jobs. I mean, it's minimum wage. You're going to get shot in the face because you put mayonnaise on somebody's fucking sandwich. Very tragic situation that did not have to occur. Deputy so-and-so. The suspect came inside the restaurant to order a sandwich, and there was something wrong with the sandwich that made him so upset he decided to take his anger out on 2 of the employees here. 36-year-old male was arrested Sunday night. He declined to identify this. Not going to identify him. This 26-year-old girl, Brittany, dead. Yeah. And then a girl, 24-year-old, shot in critical condition. Her 5-year-old son was also in the store. The dispute was over too much mayonnaise on the sandwich, but stressed the focus should be on the gun violence, not the mayonnaise. Well, thank you, sir. Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I mean,
We know.
Merca, you gotta, I'd say quit letting people in. But Subways don't have drive-thrus. You gotta let them in. No, you don't have to let them in. Just make it online and put it through the chute. Yep. But then you gotta make sure somebody ain't taking somebody's sandwich. What if I rock up and the order says paddles and I think that looks better than mine, and then I steal your order?
That happens all the time.
Well, they gotta figure out a way.
Yeah. Jersey Mike's tuna.
News!
Fight for it.
Taco Bell is unleashing tostadas and crunch wraps made with gigantic Cheez-Its. Okay, I can't do this. I can't. How many times have I said, protect the Cheez-Its, protect the goldfish? They don't need to be involved in other things. They are a thing of themselves. I love Taco Bell. I love so many things, but I don't like it when they take something else that already was in existence. And like, I don't like anything with the Dorito shells. I know the children do, but no.
We're going to do a t-shirt. Protect the Cheez-Its.
Save the Cheez-Its. Innovation never ceases over at Taco Bell. Not only is the company bringing drive-thrus into the future, now it's completely reimagining what a tostado can be. You don't need to.
Nope.
It's great.
Perfect.
The chain announced Tuesday that it's partnered with Cheez-It to create 2 new menu items built around a supersized version of cheesy cracker. It's Big Cheez-It Tostada and the Big Cheez-It Crunchwrap Supreme.
Wow.
Well, now I don't know what I'm eating. Am I eating a tostada or a box of Cheez-Its?
Doesn't matter.
The snack food mashups include an enormous Cheez-It, which Taco Bell is claiming is 16 times the size of the original cracker, which is 1 inch by 1 inch. So it's going to be 16 times bigger than that. And the large cracker still retains all of the toasty cheesiness of the smaller Cheez-Its, but made with 100% real cheese and rigid. The tostada version comes with seasoned beef, reduced fat sour cream, diced tomatoes, lettuce, cheddar, cheese. I'm going to go try it. Well, I don't know if they're everywhere. Let's see. They usually have launch stores. It's available at one location in Irvine, California. Well, I'm nowhere near there.
No.
You can get it through the mobile app, too. Both items will be available for 2 weeks or while supplies last. For the rest of us, You just hope to have this wild invention, hope it makes it to the national menu. No. All right, are there any termites in Irvine, California? Mm-hmm. Get in your car. I'll send you $5.
They're probably $5.50.
I'll send $10. I will send 10 euros. Woo. I will send somebody go and take a video of it. Come on, termites. Let's all work together. You want to do the work of the Lord? I'm trying, but I can't get to Irvine right now. No. Closest I'll be is next fall, and they'll probably be gone by then. Oh, wow, this is a good one. There's so many. This is to show you, this is old school.
Right.
This is my old school, and I love it. Hold on. I'm a big fan of justice and vengeance. Uh-huh. When people say vengeance is fleeting, I'm like, then you ain't doing it right. Vengeance is always better when you wait, but you gotta wait years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You sound psycho.
Well, too many people get away with too much shit, and they don't get enough. People always go, but what about karma? Maybe their next life will be terrible. Well, I'm not here to see that. I need to see something now. Now.
Right now.
This just shows you, though, you're not. This is why when people go, oh, just let it go. Nope, you don't let it go. 101-year-old ex-Nazi guard sentenced for aiding 3,500 murders.
Ooh.
Good. Yeah. He's 101. And you know what? I'm sure when he turned 90, he probably thought, I bet I got away with all that shit, didn't I? No, you didn't. And they shouldn't. There are people that say, well, because of the age of these people, we shouldn't spend the money to go get them. We shouldn't. No. Yes, you should. Yes, you should. Yep. As a lesson that if you do this shit, you are not going to have a single sleepless night the rest of your life. That's why you do it. Now, he's 101. 35 counts of accessory to murder, becoming the oldest person to date held accountable for the crimes related to the Holocaust. Joseph Schutz, they sentenced him to 5 years in prison, though he's unlikely to serve any time behind bars because of poor health, advanced age, and lengthy appeals process. He's denied working as a Schutzstaffel guard at the Sachsenhausen camp and aiding and abetting the murders of 3,500 prisoners. Oh, wow. He had worked as a farm laborer near Pasewalk in northeastern Germany during the period in question. This is what he's saying, and never wore a German uniform. However, the court considered it proven that starting at the age of 21, he worked at the camp on the outskirts of Berlin between 42 and 45. As an enlisted member of the Nazi Party's parliament wing, the German news agency DPA reported the court has come to the conclusion that contrary to what you claim, you worked in a concentration camp as a guard for about 3 years. He added that in doing so, the defendant had assisted in the Nazi terror, and you watched deported people being cruelly tortured and murdered every day for 3 years. Prosecutors based their case on documents relating to an SS guard with Schutz's name, date, and place of birth, as well as other documents. 5 years prison sentence was in line with the prosecution's demand. So if he did go to prison, if he could live to 107, he would be out. Mm-hmm. Good. Just to let you know, if you're a Nazi hanging out there, they're still coming.
Yep.
And they should.
I don't think there's any Nazi termites.
There's no Nazi termites. No.
All termites are happy.
No. Termites are good termites. Uh-oh. I love this. This is so, I guarantee you, Mark Zuckerberg's devil's work. FCC commissioner calls on Apple and Google to remove TikTok from their app stores. No way. Are you high? Are you high? How high are you? Like, did you eat all the edibles and you were only supposed to eat one?
Say it.
Here's what the children are going to say to this. Yeah, no. Okay? And I mean, I know adult friends. My friend Nicole loves TikTok. I have my jokes about it in my act, but I enjoy it in very short spurts. Yeah. Very short. Yeah. And it's too much for me.
Kathy likes it too.
My friend Kathy likes it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. A member of the Federal Trade Commission is renewing for calls on Apple to remove TikTok from their app stores, citing national security concerns surrounding TikTok's Chinese-based parent company, ByteDance. Now, do you think my nieces, who are 13, give a flying shit about national security concerns? No. About what information is China stealing from us through all this? I mean, maybe they are, but I guarantee you nobody here gives a shit.
Right.
On June, in a letter to the CEO of Apple and Google, Brendan Carr described ByteDance as beholden to the Chinese government and required by law to comply with their surveillance demands. So you're really? I would really like to see somebody watching my nieces all day. I mean, just dancing and putting the dog in outfits and hey. I mean, your brain would explode. Your brain would explode.
Yeah. It's the dumbing of America.
Because they're kids. I mean, they just do silly stuff all day. It's very light. I mean, it wouldn't be a hard job. It would be very easy, but you'd be like, after a while, I'd be writing plots for them. I'm like, can we get the organization to all this? The Chinese staff had accessed TikTok users' data on multiple occasions. It's out of compliance with the policies both of your companies require every other app to adhere to. Google and Apple didn't immediately respond in a statement. They called the report misleading. Like, this is Zuckerberg. Yeah. Zuckerberg's calling the FCC and going, look, if I have to put this shit in place, which he does not have in place anyway, well, how come TikTok he hates them because the children like TikTok better than Facebook. Yeah. Facebook looks like a dictionary compared to TikTok. It looks like a 1970s encyclopedia page that doesn't move. It's boring as shit. I mean, Facebook Live, I guess, whatever. But those go on way too long. It's really bad. They stand categorically behind their feeling. They're not saying anything in here about Zuckerberg, but I think he wants him to do it. So I guarantee they're not going to do it. But the FCC is so half-ass old people backwards. Send a letter to take down TikTok. It's like trying to undo DraftKings at this point. This is a problem for Netflix, and I'm on it. So it'd be nice if they could try to get their shit together. But my next one's going to be on Amazon Prime. Yep. I've changed camps for the time being.
Amazon.
I've changed, yes. I've switched my loyalties for the time being. Netflix is among the hardest hit in the S&P's 500 stocks this year. Its shares are off nearly 70%. For years, the company was the darling of the stock market. And to this day, I will never know why. Because they never have to produce numbers of who's watched what or how many people watch anything. They don't have to. I don't even know. I have no idea how many people watched the special that I had 2 on there, but now I think 1's on there. The other one moved over somewhere. Once it's out of my hands, it's out of my hands. I don't know where. I'm always amazed where I pop something on. I'm like, oh, fuck, look at me on Hulu. I don't even know how that happened. But the one that is on Netflix, I have no idea how many people watched. They never tell me. They don't release any information. So I never understood why people believed that their stock could be worth A, B, or C because we don't have any facts. Right. It was weird to me. And they were getting all this money from somewhere to pay all these people. Yep. And like Monique was saying, well, they didn't pay the women. Well, she was saying black women. And I wanted to echo that and go, well, white women either. Right. I mean, I didn't get shit compared to what you hear. Right. I get enough to make the special. And then I got to tip people. And then I'm in the hole. Yeah. It's just I thought we were all getting paid like that except the superstars like Chappelle and all that. It's just an ad for me. That's how I view it. But I never understood. You also don't know how many subscribers you have. So why are people buying stocks based on that? Because you told us, I think, didn't they tell us in the beginning you could share a password? I think they did. Termites, weigh in on this. Didn't they say you could share 1 or 2? You think I just took that upon myself to share it with my parents? Because it was easier than making them sign up. Yeah, and then the minute if I put a credit card into something, their heads explode. Then they called this week because they lost my dad's phone. And I said, I told my brother, when they're dead, I'm putting all of their electronics in their casket. I'm putting my mom's iPads, all of them. I'm going to get like 3, the old ones, chargers, because I can't. I said, we have lost your iPhone on your thing. Well, we don't know our Apple password. Well, I don't know it either, Mom. So I guess you're just gonna have to. Have we tried calling it? Well, your dad can't hear. I know. Is the ringer even on? They ended up finding it. They left the house. They thought maybe they left it at Lowe's. Drove to Lowe's, caroused the parking lot, went inside, came home. It was in their driveway, and they still hadn't. They never hit it.
Really?
It's fine. Wow. Yeah, saved me $500. It's good. As that would have been the next call.
We have some.
For years, the company was the darling of the stock market. The cause of the drop is well known. Netflix lost subscribers in the most recent quarter, which fundamentally was without precedent. Netflix pointed out that one cause of the problem could be addressed. About 100 million people share their Netflix subscription credentials, and Netflix does not get paid. Didn't you know that? It's a running joke. Yeah. Like, we all did that. Yeah. And I didn't even feel like I was stealing. Normally I would. I'd be like, you got to pay. You know.
Tell them about your cousin Mike. Give it to all his kids.
Oh, yeah, my cousin Mike gave it to all his kids, and now he can't watch anything because they've all co-opted all of it. Like, him and his wife will go to watch something, and the password's changed or it's maxed out. Like, you can only have 7 viewers at one, whatever. Yeah, he had to really bring the hammer down on that because they're like all in their 20s, and they just stole it all. The company said this was an opportunity for the road ahead. Another focus is how to best monetize sharing the 100 million households using another household's account. Jack and Becky. Mm-hmm. This is a big opportunity as these households are already enjoying Netflix and enjoying our service. What the company made less clear, you can't go backwards. No. You're not going to get them to pay. They'll just say, fuck it. My parents won't do it. Even if I did it. Well, they would do it if I did it. But I have to be there to do it. Mm-hmm. Then I got to go over there just for that. Right. What the company made less clear is that some subscribers will cancel if they are forced to pay. Yes, they will. If you told my mom and dad, you have to pay for this one, they canceled Hulu because I told them to watch what we're going to talk about that I watched. Uh-huh. And my mom goes, we canceled that. It was too much. It's $7. Holy Christ, Mom. Well, we had a lot of them, and we had to make decisions. No, you didn't. All of your kids make a fine living. Another way Netflix can increase its revenue is through advertising-supported subscriptions. You know what you should be making your money off of? Advertised product placement. And they don't do enough of it. You tell the show if you want to be on this show, if you want to make a show for Netflix, you have to use whatever, Apple products, Old Bay seasoning, something. And then get them, because nobody cares about that. No. As a viewer, I don't care if they're subtly showing the guys drinking an Old Milwaukee. Right. Great. If it fits the character, great. God. Another way it can increase revenue is through advertising-supported subscriptions. It is an approach foreign to most big streaming services. This is true for a reason. The success of streaming has been long coupled with commercial-free programming. Exactly, because I tried to watch the thing about Pam on NBC with Renee Zellweger, which was good. Zellweger. I can't say it. That lady. That lady. Renee Zellweger. Please report. It was a great show, but you need what? Couldn't deal with the commercials on NBC because I knew it was going to come out on Hulu, and I just gave up. I'm like, I can't sit here all night in live time. No, and even when you tape it, when you're fast forwarding, it just loses its thing because we're used to not having commercials. Right. The success of streaming has long been coupled with commercial-free program, which was pioneered decades ago by HBO. It's a habit that will be hard to break. Finally, the most obvious reason for Netflix collapse is the I can never say that word, of streaming services. People will not subscribe to a dozen. Exactly. Vicky Madigan, Hulu, you're out. Many will only subscribe to 2 or 3. Totally. Yep. And my dad was on some rampage about the Cardinals, and I don't know. You can't watch the Cardinals for some reason. I don't know. The field has become too crowded, even for leaders like Netflix and Amazon Prime. Amazon at least makes money on Prime beyond what people pay for content. Yep. Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. I don't think the answer is to have commercials. That's going backwards. That's not forwards. Nope. Now, next week, I'm going to do this story because it's going to keep going. But just brace yourself for next week.
Well, why don't we start it?
I'm not going to start it. Well, I'm just going to tell you what we're going to talk about. Yeah. The lady in Texas who shot, dead the lady that was, quote, having an affair with her boyfriend. And then she went on the run, and they found her in Costa Rica in a hostel with her hair cut, colored, changed, and maybe plastic surgery. There was a receipt, they say, for $6,300 for some sort of surgical work. It's getting crazier, so I'm going to do the whole story next week. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you about the richest man that ever lived, and then I'm going to tell you what to watch. I didn't know this. Well, I don't know. If you ever had to say, who was the richest man that ever lived? Because it wouldn't have been a woman. I don't know. It could have been Catherine the Great. When you think about the leader of a nation, I mean, all of Russia and all those territories, I would have thrown Catherine Great maybe in. She's the only woman I could think of. Maybe Queen Elizabeth, but she didn't really own it. But it wasn't a woman. There's a few women I would put in the top 10 as possibilities, but mostly dudes. The richest person that ever lived collapsed economies with his wealth. And there's a picture of him, and he's a super hot African. His name's Mansu Musa. Never heard of him. How have we never heard of Mansu Musa? He's considered the richest person that ever lived throughout history, the history of humankind. He lived in the 14th century. His wealth is estimated to have been around $400 billion in today's value after adjusting the inflation over time. He was in Africa. He was all around Senegal, Gambia, Mali, that whole area of Western Timbuktu. Isn't that funny? That's a real place. Mm-hmm. And our parents always used to say they were going to put me in a box and send me to Timbuktu. I thought it was totally made up. I didn't know he meant Africa.
It's fun to say. It's like in Canada.
He was 400 billion. He was the 10th emperor of the Mali Empire. He became wealthy by taking advantage of the flourishing production of gold and salt in his country. Legend had it he had mountains of gold in such plentiful qualities that people could not imagine the extent of his wealth. Rather than being greedy or possessive with his riches, hello, he was the Dolly part of his time. He was known to be generous with his wealth. He was also known to be a religious person. He had a dream since childhood to complete his religious pilgrimage to Mecca one day. When he became an adult, he finally decided to achieve his dream of completing his pilgrimage. He set out for his pilgrimage in a lavish style with tons of gold and a lot of men. During his pilgrimage, he decided to do acts of charity for all the poor people. How great. Yeah. Especially if you heard he was coming. You're like, what? This is awesome. Mm-hmm. Since he was a religious person, he believed that giving charity to the poor was his religious obligation. However, his selfless act of charity turned out to be a disaster for the economies of neighboring countries. He gave gold as charity to every poor person he met throughout his journey. Due to his donation of gold to every poor person he met, the value of gold declined in those places as he passed by. Gold is considered to be a valuable asset because its availability is rare. Since Musa donated so much gold to the public, the value and the price of the gold in neighboring countries started declining. Holy shit, he's causing recessions every mile he goes further.
The recession king.
Yeah, he is. He's causing inflation, not recession. It's caused huge inflation to happen in all the countries he passed by on his journey. The entire Middle East faced economic losses approximately amounting to $1.5 billion. The huge influx of gold into the neighboring countries caused such a hyperinflation that it took more than 10 years for them to recover.
Oh. Wow.
He probably never thought about that. Yeah, I'm just going to shower these people. So,
I like it.
before we get out of here, termites. So, 2 things. Okay. I watched The Staircase on Netflix. It's about a man in Durham who was accused of killing his wife, Kathleen. Mm-hmm.
Great name.
Yeah, they don't know whether he ended up pleading guilty, but in a Alford plea saying that you have to decide if you think I think he absolutely killed her. No question in my mind. But it's about the trial, and it goes on for years. And I found the documentary, there's a lot of places where I just kind of wanted to speed up. It really could have been edited. It's like 15 episodes long. I actually think it's 15. 13. And it's good. It's good, like you can kind of have it on in the background if you're cleaning the house or something. You don't really need to physically watch it.
Okay.
But I just don't see any way. What bothered me about the thing, and I'm going to go look at it, he had to have collected life insurance on her. And I want to know how much it was, and I want to know what his financial status
They didn't
was.
say that?
Nope. They let this camera crew, it's also very weird that a camera crew was following these people for 15 years. I don't understand. They never really explained that. Why? And then people act weird when they're on camera. Everybody does, because you're aware that there's a camera. It's not a natural, it's a very, very strange, I think it's worth watching. But just know, buckle in with patience. And then I had to Google, what does he do now? Where is he at now? And so on and so forth. But termites, write me. Tell me what you think. There's also a crazy theory that I'm not going to get in. Well, I'll get into that next week because I'll let you guys go try to watch it. About maybe something else killed her. And it's just the most bizarre thing I've ever heard of. And I don't fucking believe that either.
Okay.
I think, and he was, first of all, too, the guy, he's the father of a mixed kids. Like, he had kids, he married a lady who had kids, and then he adopted some other lady's kids that also died in a fall down the stairs. And did he get her money? Nobody ever said that. Like, he adopted her kids. That was very odd. Mm-hmm. Is this because you get the money then? Mm-hmm. Or are you just a nice guy? But, yeah, I don't buy it. But one of his kids, who was the daughter of the second lady that died at the bottom of the stairs, she believes he killed her mother. So the other kids, though, believe him, that he didn't kill her, that she just fell down the stairs. But they don't say, did you get money from those other kids? Like, it's just weird that a camera crew is following these people around and they get to say whatever they want to say, but then the camera crew never decides, the documentary people never decide to put up some facts. They don't have to be, you don't have to sway anybody's opinion, but I'd like to know some facts here. Got it. Yeah. What was his financial state? Then, like, after this happens and she dies and he's in trouble, then they find out he's bisexual and he's having all these gay military affairs. But that just got swept under, like, if all of a sudden, say my dad was accused of killing my mom fell down the steps or was pushed down the steps or murdered on the steps. And then they said, oh, and by the way, we found this stuff on the computer and your dad's bisexual. Well, first of all, it would take me an hour to stop laughing because I just can't picture it. But this guy got lucky because that just got swept under the rug because he's being charged with murder. So the shock of your dad, who's supposed to be straight, like he never said he was bisexual or that was never discussed with the dead lady. Right. It was a secret. It was all hidden on the computer. Mm-hmm. So he's got a secret life going on, whatever the secret life may have been. Did the kids know about it? No, the kids didn't know. And then they were all like, but they're young, so they're like, yeah, that's cool. No, it's fine if he's bisexual. I don't care about that. But the fact that he hid it, right. He's lying to your mom. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a lot going on in this show. But even better, on Hulu. There is a show, and I made Lewis watch it, and it's only 5 episodes. Okay. Might be 4. And now HBO is going to have one, too, but theirs won't be out till later, called Candy. And it's about a housewife of Plano, Texas, played by whom? Jessica Biel. Was she good? She was so good. She's great. So great. Everything about this show. And it's going to come out in the very beginning, so I'm not bursting any bubbles here or blowing the endings, but she is accused of murdering a neighbor, a fellow churchgoer lady, and they're all just 70s, and they capture the 70s so good in this every detail down to the phones, the dishwashers. I could watch it all again tonight. It was so good. Although, caveat, Justin Timberlake plays a cop because Jessica, and he's good. But the wig they gave him, they spent so much money recreating the 70s in the most perfect, awesome way. And Jessica Biel's an executive producer. Good for her. Yep. Yay. But the wig on Justin, I'm like, that looks like it came from a downtown party city. Like, what the fuck is that? I mean, and Justin has hair. We didn't need... It was so distracting. I'm like, he doesn't have a big role. He plays one of the detectives that comes into the scene. But it's a true story. And my obsession with capturing the 70s so perfectly was just the shag carpet, the light fixtures, everything. You're like, when you watch it, if you're my age, you just go, we had that. Oh my God. And then there was like a phone that went in this box. I'm like, I don't know what that is. What is that? Maybe, I don't know. And this supposedly happened in 79, 80, I think. But it still was very 70s-ish because ranch houses in Plano, Texas. Just a quiet little neighborhood. They all go to this little church on Sunday. Till it wasn't quiet. And somebody took an axe and gave somebody 41 whacks. That's the Lizzie Borden poem.
Oh, I don't know that.
Paddles.
Do you know metric?
I know imperial, because I'm imperial. I'm an imperial person.
Who knows the Lizzie Borden poem?
Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her mother 40 whacks. When she was done, gave her father 41. I believe is how it goes.
Well, that's what
A termite can correct me.
That's what you were learning in school.
No, I didn't learn that in school. I had my own books that I've snuck in and read while they were yakking on about math and shit. I'm like, yeah, but my dad gave me this Lizzie Borden book, and I've got a Hitler book after this to read about World War II.
Oh my God.
So Candy on Hulu. And the lady who plays the woman who gets murdered, she's great too. I don't remember that actor's name, that lady. She kind of looks like Lena Dunham, but it's not her. She's spectacular at playing Melanie Linsky. Mm-hmm. She was great. Everybody was great. Yep. Justin was great. They just gave him the shittiest wig. I've seen shit on my nephews on Halloween that look more real. I do not understand what happened there. So that's just something to look for. But if you got time and you're looking for, me and Lou are always looking for binge stuff. And sadly, I wish it was longer. I wish the staircase had been shorter and Candy could have been longer. I could have done with a couple more episodes of Texas in 1979 out in the Plano, because when they were going to do secret things, they had to go to Dallas. Yeah, you had to get out of Plano. You had to go to a hotel in Dallas. Secret bad things. All right, termites. I don't have any shows coming up. I'll be in Vegas in August 5th. How excited is that? I think it will be the last time at the Mirage. No, they might be able to sneak a few more times because it's turning into the Hard Rock, and then I don't know what. I'll be so sad when it's over because I've had such a wonderful time there.
Everybody should come join you.
And it's you guys should come for the last hurrah. And it's such a great location, and Kana, who works there, is the nicest person ever, and Roy, who used to work there, greatest person ever. I'm sure they'll find another spot for me in Vegas, but I don't like change when things are perfect. I'm not a fan. It's a game show. You want to keep your showcase, or do you want to risk your showcase? No, I want to keep my showcase. I'm perfectly happy. I wish for nothing more. And whatever, Vegas moves on. And then in the fall, it goes crazy. But for now, I'm going to be on my noodle in the lake water, swimming around. Little golfy, as Lewis would say. That's it, termites. So be safe, termites. Summertime, wear your sunblock. I had to have a little thing chopped off my head.
The T-shirts will be up in like 2 weeks.
Oh, the T-shirts are coming in 2 weeks. Like in 2 weeks.
Yep.
That'll be fun. They're long sleeved.
Yep.
I like a long sleeve T-shirt better,
Yep.
no matter what. Even after being hot in the summer at nighttime, after a shower, I want a long sleeve T-shirt. And a little secret something for the Canadians for the Niagara Falls gig.
Yep.
Am I supposed to be lugging that physically to Canada? Yes. I am. Mm-hmm. I'm lugging. That's how much I love my Canadian termites. Mm-hmm. I made special merch, and I will be lugging it up there. I will be flying into Buffalo, shuffling to Buffalo, and being picked up by the casino, I hope. Me and my bags of circus shit. This will not be a monetary winning proposition. This is an act of love for the people don't pay enough attention to the Canadians and their wishes and their merch. Yeah. They get their own merch. Yeah. They should. Mm-hmm. They've been so excited, and they've held onto these tickets since, I believe, 2004. This has been rescheduled because of COVID, because the Canadian their protocol was different and the borders were closed, and then they kept pushing it, and then it became like a fantasy thing. Like my agent Heidi would call and go, "Okay, so I talked to the Canadians. Do you want to move this to like say September of 2022, and in 19, that might as well have said, how about 2048? Sure, no problem." And then when these things happen, I'm like, who agreed to this? Why did I say? It's fine. It's fine. All right, termites. That's it. Ready?